Okay, so you've read the title of this video, and yes, 33 Immortals is indeed a game with 33-player co-op, but it is so much more than this. It is a 33-player co-op title in which you get to kill God. Yeah, I thought that'd get your attention. 33 Immortals is a roguelike action spectacle for PC and Xbox consoles that sees 33 players work together to complete challenges, upgrade and customize their characters, and defeat enemies in order to trigger the wrath of God. And all because we want to save our souls from eternal punishment. Plus, all of this, weirdly enough, comes from Thunder Lotus Games, the same devs that gave us the outstanding, mesmeric, and aggressively charming Spiritfarer, and is scheduled for a 2024 release date. For those not in the know, by the way, Spiritfarer is a title about ferrying souls from one plane of existence to another, and while you'll be doing a very different version of that as you smash the living essence out of enemies in 33 Immortals, the tonal whiplash between these two games, well, it's enough to break your bloody neck. Thankfully, though, even at this new necklace angle, 33 Immortals is looking to be one fascinatingly entrancing title, putting players in the rather vengeful shoes of a soul that has been wrongly judged to receive endless suffering. However, after a few pints of piss and vinegar down the local, your soul and many others have decided that enough is enough and it's time to have a word with the big man upstairs. And by that, I mean that you and 32 other players stage an all-out rebellion against the forces of God in an action roguelike that will surely scratch the itch of MMO fans looking for their next new favourite raid title. In order to trigger the wrath of God, you'll need to dive into torture chambers with other players to battle foes inside, then regroup in the overworld to take on ever-evolving challenges. Inside these chambers, you'll find and be rewarded with treasure chests that can be used to respec your character on the fly, upgrade your skills, or even might contain currencies that allow you to unlock perks that carry across play sessions. However, before you start picking out a rather sizable space on your mantle for the head of God themselves, be warned, my friend, as you are going to get your ass kicked to hell and back as the forces of God do not mess around. Plus, the devs at Thunder Lotus have been very smart with how they handle the concept of 33 players being in the game all at once so as to not make it feel that the power is totally one-sided in their favour. To start with, the amount of enemies on screen is approaching Dynasty Warriors levels, but unlike those utter chumps who basically begged you to bash them to death with your tomfers, these monsters will not wait around for an invitation and will constantly pressure players with ranged, melee, magic and, well, being a bloody unit strategies. Then you have to factor in how not all 33 players start at the same location. Instead of being dropped into a clump and marching towards the pearly gates, you'll be split up into smaller groups around the huge overworld map. From these points, you'll need to delve into torture chambers and work together with other teams to unlock greater challenges and rewards, before then heading back to the surface and regrouping for the larger boss battles. And on top of all of this, God isn't just going to sit around there and watch you try to upturn their judgment. They'll rain down monstrous energy blasts which only increase in damage, scale and difficulty to dodge the more you keep prodding the bear. In fact, once you've earned the right to take part in what's known as an ascension battle, which will move you between the realms and closer to battling God, their attacks will take the shape of a wall of holy fire, which pushes players towards a small area in which to do battle. Drop behind or get stuck fighting an enemy for too long and you'll be toasted by this holy fire. But thankfully, though, even in death you still have a chance to turn the tide, as your spirit essence can be resurrected by your party. Just be sure to watch out for beasts nearby once you've died, because if your essence gets too close to them, they'll capture you, meaning that your party will have to cut you free before attempting a resurrection. However, even if you do fail totally, you'll still get some partial rewards, which can be used to extend your lifespan on the next rebellion. As you journey through worlds and dungeons, you'll meet famous holy and unholy characters, each of whom offers either reward or punishment for daring to stand against the divine. You'll even meet Dante himself, whose influence on this title cannot be understated, as the beasts, locations, and designs are all inspired by the Divine Comedy. Hell, and I use that very literally here, the 33-player choice is actually down to the Divine Comedy being broken into 3 parts, each of which has 33 chapters. I wonder if they would have stuck to the same principle if it was 100 chapters per piece. Probably not, as another of the team's mandates was that every player should be able to fit on screen at one time without it becoming impossible to tell what's going on. Now, if all of this god-smacking, dungeon-crawling, raid-partying sounds brilliant to you, well, you've quite literally not heard the best bit yet, as the soundtrack is composed by Max XL, and is so perfectly suited for this title you'd swear that it's been carried down from heaven by the angels themselves. Okay, maybe I'm entering a rare circle of hell reserved for hyperbolic gaming journalist quotes here, which also houses journos that can't play games that well, but the soundtrack really is outstanding, mixing together beautiful orchestral numbers with roars and wails of the many beasts that stand in your way. way. Couple this with an art style that resembles Hades if it was filtered through the Banner saga, and you've got a game that looks great and sounds just as nice. However, here's the real question. Does this game look worth your time outside of the initial tagline of 33 co-op play? I mean, just because you add a load of people together doesn't always mean that it's going to be a great time. I mean, just look at, I don't know, kids' birthday parties is a good example of this, or the entire concept of war. Probably should have gone with that. They're actually one and the same, to be honest. Well, to answer that simply, yeah, this game is doing so much right and featuring so much addictive content. Much like the serpent offering the apple, it's going to be hard to resist this temptation. Thankfully though, you won't even have to wait all that long to get your hands on 33 Immortals, but you will need to be lucky, as there is a closed beta test dropping May 24th and running through until June the 2nd, which will let a selection of players attempt to slap God in the chops, as well as provide the dev team with useful community feedback. The rest of us, however, will have to wait a little long, as at present the game has a vague 2024 release. However, considering the amount of footage already out there, plus all of the features that have been shown off by the devs, you can tell this game is nearing completion even now. Plus, it'll be available day one on Game Pass, meaning that you'll be able to jump right into the action without dropping an extra dime. And there we have it, 33 Immortals. What do you think about this game? Are you excited about it? Are you thinking about picking it up? And do you have enough friends to fill out that 33-player co-op mandate? Well, let me know down in the comment section below. I know I don't. As always, you can follow me over on Instagram, where it's @RetroJ, but the O is a 0. Look forward to hearing from you, and you can check out all of the Warhammer that I've been painting in my spare time. I know I am a nerd. But before I go, I just want to say one thing. I hope you're treating yourself well, my friend, with love and respect, because you deserve the bloody best, alright? And do not let anything or anyone else tell you otherwise. You deserve love, happiness, and success in your life. We all do as human beings. So just remember, above all else, you're a big ledge. As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye.